Hi, and welcome to Lunch with Art at the Blanch Ely House Museum. I'm Derek Davis, and we'll be talking to the Gillis today about Blanch Ely's philosophy of education and how that impacted on students and the community. Hi, welcome to Lunch with Art at Blanch Ely. And I'm here with the Gillises again, and we're going to be talking about some of these social events at Blanch Ely. Specifically, when we're talking about May Day, we're going to be talking about the big broadcast and some of the other events. So tell me about May Day. What was that like? What was May Day?
Well, May Day, back in the day, was one of the school activities that every class was required to sponsor an event or an activity. And basically, homeroom teachers for every class came up with what would be done. It was held on the grounds.
Mm-hmm.
They were dancing. There were things that called the apple bobbling.
Yes, bobbing apples, yes.
And music.
Mm-hmm.
And to finalize it was the plaiting of the maypole.
Okay.
And
Was that done by one class or was that done by?
That was done by several classes involved.
Mm-hmm.
Different colors on the going around plaiting the maypole, the pole.
Mm-hmm.
And it just turned out to be a grand occasion all day rather than being in classroom settings.
Okay, so you took the whole day off and you had the May Day.
And every class had to put on what it had worked on sponsoring for that day.
Okay. And give some ideas of some things you said the class would sponsor, like bobbing apples or...
Yeah, I remember my class that I was involved with. We did an African dance. And you'll see the little scrawny bodies of guys there with the grass skirts on. That was us.
Mm-hmm.
The girls had on grass skirts also, resembling some African dance features.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my class's event activity that was put on during May Day, mm-hmm. whereby we did a Congo African dance to the African music.
I think this is a picture of that dance, isn't it?
That is, and I'm in there somewhere, hands on hips and shaking it.
Okay. Did you remember any other type of dances at the other classes there? Or
I really don't, but it was
you remember
several. I remember mine because, hey, a lot of work and time and effort went into these preparing for this big day because that was a big time.
Okay.
And it happened every year.
Mm-hmm.
You look forward to it and you worked on what your activity was going to be for May Day.
Okay. So you worked as part of class? It was after class? What was the preparation like?
I think most of it had to be after class.
Okay.
Because it was done, as I first stated, we had homeroom teachers,
mm-hmm.
and each teacher was assigned to a particular class, and you worked on it after school setting.
Okay. And I think, Dr. Gillis, you wanted to talk about something called the big broadcast?
The big broadcast.
Okay, what was that?
The big broadcast was done by every class as well.
Mm-hmm.
Dances.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a fundraiser. It was not free. And it was done in we called it the projects then.
Mm-hmm.
It's, what's the name of the place?
Golden Acres.
Golden Acres. There were places out there that people lived, but it was a big assembly building.
Mm-hmm.
A big assembly building that was in the middle of that place. And it was held there every year.
Okay. So
every class was, and each class with your dance, you had your costumes, similar to whatever your dance was.
Mm-hmm. And who would come to it? When you said it was a fundraiser, who would pay?
Everybody.
Everybody in the community?
Everybody,
yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Ely believed in many ways that she could to educate.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And raise funds for kids.
Not just, yes. You know, we also had movie days.
Movie days?
We had movie days.
What was,
she bought a projector. There was a projector.
Mm-hmm.
And we paid 10 cents to go in the movie.
Oh, okay.
When they would give them, we paid 10 cents to go in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Ms. Eda told us that when she got paid for that, we would go in free.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it didn't never get paid for.
Remember some of the movies you saw there?
Oh God, the Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
The cowboy movies. It was just something to do during the day. It was one period. When you did it, was just held one period.
Oh, during the school time?
Yeah, during school time.
Oh.
During school time.
Okay.
And if you weren't going in the movie, then you were in another classroom with another teacher.
Oh, okay.
You just didn't just walk around in the halls.
Oh.
But the big broadcast was something, a big thing for us.
Mm-hmm. And you said that would be based on something you saw on TV or what?
The whatever dance the teacher would come up with for the classes to do.
Okay.
And then your costume would be similar to your dance.
Mm-hmm. Well, go ahead.
And again, I can recall my class's activity because I was in it.
Okay, what did you do?
Called the Blue Tango.
The Blue Tango. Oh.
We had a girl partner, and we had dance steps, and our class colors were light blue and baby blue.
Mm-hmm.
The boys had on that color, the girls, and we played our song, and we did our dance to the Blue Tango.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I remember about the big broadcast.
Okay.
And individuals did group singing. Liturgica is nothing new now. They did that then.
Mm-hmm.
Liturgica dancing. Guys did individual solos. They wanted to be Jackie Wilson and all that had been brought to them because some of our teachers, I'm sure, had experience, before coming to Pompano, they had witnessed a lot of this, and they brought these activities and they planned out what would be appropriate for their particular class. But I remember the Blue Tango.
Mm-hmm. Did each class have a color? Because you mentioned your class had colors.
Each class had a color and a motto.
Each class had a
motto.
motto.
Selected that. You selected your own class color with your motto.
You mean the students in the class?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Each class were organized.
Mm-hmm.
Each class had a president, secretary, treasurer. Each class were organized all the way through to graduation.
Wow. Wow. So we mentioned graduation. What was graduation like?
For me, I graduated from 5th going to 6th. I graduated from 8th going to 9th. And 12th grade, I graduated as a completion of the high school requirements. Okay. So I had 3 graduations in the same building or the same structure.
Okay. So what was that event like? I know they don't like to call them graduations now, but what was that event like when those graduations?
Comparison to today, just as exciting. We put on our white, and we were just as proud as we had been on Broadway graduating.
Okay. So it was just white outfit or white gown or?
No, the girls had on white dresses. The boys had on white shirts, white pants. And our places of graduation usually didn't happen. Most of them happened in the school, but at the completion of high school, our graduation took place at the Loveland Theater.
Oh, okay, wow.
There was no place other than the school's auditorium, which held very few people. Therefore, it wasn't adequate to house the community that was going to be participating. So high school graduations were held in the Loveland Theater.
Sounds amazing. Were there any other type of events that you want to mention before we close out?
One thing I didn't know whether it was still prevalent in schools today, but one thing that we really were excited about was intramurals in basketball. The guys, the girls and guys that were on the girls' team or boys' team, they acted as coaches. And the ones that did not participate in basketball, they made up teams out of those classes. And they competed like a tournament against each other and went all the way through to get a championship basketball out of intramurals in those grades.
And we also we officiated the games, those of us that played.
Okay. Oh,
And-
yeah. So for the interview, the real players.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we officiated the games.
Okay, so it's almost
And-
still like
and-
teaching experiences. Y'all were taking the real things you learned
Right.
about basketball. But
And then we had a time where the teachers would get a team and play the girls or the boys team. We had teachers create their team and they played the girls team. The boys, men, if there were men, they created a team and played the boys team.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So I think that was a highlight.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It might seem like, it was, I guess it looks outdated, but I feel that my childhood was excellent. I really do. I don't have any bad feelings about anything that I went through in my childhood because I learned from a lot of things.
Yeah, you look like you had a lot of fun learning.
And I did. And you know what? I keep learning. I guess because of Mrs. Ely, it's something that I continue to do. I don't ever stop reading because you can't ever stop learning. And I'm always into something leading, so which means that I have to continue to do whatever I can to stay prepared. So I'm reading all the time.
So
I love reading.
you love. So I'd like to thank y'all for being with us again, for all the sessions you've done with us. You've shared so much about the beauty that was in the school, learning, making learning fun, and finding ways to make money, because that money she used, when you look at her life, she used that to even make the curriculum better and make the school better. So thank you very much for being with us, and I'd like to thank the audience for being with us and being here to share some of these memories. Thank you.